so talking about success, of course, not everyone is always successful. And so let's talk about the unsuccessful ventures that you've been part of, or things that haven't been, hasn't gone as planned as you would think that they would go as planned.
Oh, probably my fitness business, but it just like it came down to a lack of my own personal development. Although the strategy we were using, which was generate leads, bring people in for a free 3-week program, and then close the deal. I had a business partner; he was handling the sales, I was doing all the marketing and like coaching the free program and stuff. That was It was highly exhausting. Like we were doing okay, like we were bringing 12, 13 grand a month. Like I didn't realize that, like, wow, that's a lot back then. And to me, it's like, okay, like, oh, that's whatever nowadays. But like, I know it's perspective, right? But seriously, and it was very, very draining. And like, I was coaching like 30 people at once, doing like freaking 20 calls a week for coaching calls, plus like calls for qualifying people to bring them on programs. I was doing like 30, 35 hours of calls. And it just got to a point where I was so burnt out. I was like, this isn't even worth the 13 grand a month. Like this, like we need to be doing more. There must be something we're doing wrong. So eventually I started a second channel every spare second I put into it, which was talking about mental health and ADHD. And I was like, just wanted to pursue it and just try it and teach people about it. And that really took off, and I started doing consultation calls. So I ended up selling the fitness business, like just taking my percentage and changing that. So that was probably my biggest struggle in that, was just underdevelopment of my own personal growth and just burnout for not regulating my central nervous system. Yeah.
Sure. And so was there a fear in, jumping from the old business to the new business, or starting up the new business? How did that transition take place? There is always that one moment where you realize, okay, I'm going to pull this plug or hit this switch and make a transition. How did that happen?
I don't know. I knew I had to do something. Like the state of the world, you simply just aren't going to be able to create long-term wealth off a 9 to 5. Like it's getting too hard to live and pay for things. Like things are seriously expensive because there's hyperinflation. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this working gardening for $30 an hour. Like, bro, that's modern day slavery right there. So I was like, I have to do something. I was like, what is truest to me? And I really pondered on this. I was like, the thing that's most authentic to me is the struggles that I had with ADHD and my own mental health. And I was like, I'm going to go all in on that and just start making content. And I was posting 5 videos a day for ages to get my, like, with my camera, highly quality edited. Like I'm talking, I was putting some hours in. And, I started really growing that. And all I did was I just used the business model implemented from the old business model into this, except I wasn't coaching people for free. I started off by having conversations really well and just booking people in for consultations. So that's where I started. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And look, you are right in saying that a lot of people think that the 9 to 5 is going to get them there. Of course, it's a good place to start, but it's not a good place to finish, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, it's natural, when you're walking down the street and you see a Maserati or a Ferrari going past you, and you see, that that's a $500,000 car, and even if you saved for the next 10 years and ate nothing, did nothing, no travel, nothing, you would still
You're not
be able
getting that.
to afford that car. Yeah, 100%. So these people must be doing something different. And of course, business comes into that, and investing comes into that. So it's a very important, part of success. And look, and I strongly feel that fear plays a big role in making the transition. When I was transitioning from my own, corporate world into the business, I had this fear of, what if the clients stop coming? Like, what if, like, and of course, I was married, I had kids, I was married quite young, I was 26, and, I pulled the plug on the marriage, and I said, yeah, I'm going to get married now. And so I was engaged at 24, literally, right? So,
Wow.
there's a lot of commitment that pulls you back, right? And so you're thinking, okay, if I take this jump, what if the clients don't turn up? And, it comes down to, overcoming that fear to really and truly see the success.
Yeah, 100%. It is, isn't it? And it's kind of just like you have to have the ultimate conviction and belief within yourself. I think it's a quote from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. When you have a strong belief backed with a burning desire, you'll be able to achieve anything. Because I think you realize at the end of the day, like there's not really anything else to do in the world but to build something for yourself. Like what else is there to really do?